Hey, Crawlspacers, welcome to our ASM show. Let's introduce the panel. Man, we've got 15 of you before we even got to the webcams. You guys are ready to talk about these ASM issues. JR, they're ready to talk. What's going on?
They may be ready to talk, but I'm not ready to read.
Well, hopefully you've read these by now before we start reviewing them.
I would say glance through and glance through and try to avoid throwing up. This was
there you go.
month.
Well, it's all right. We've just lost half the audience. We started, they watched the opening, and now they're down. Now they're down to half. We will pick it back up. Sarah, what's going on, Sarah? I love the hat, by the way.
Hey, thank you. It was pick your favorite decade for reading week for dress up at school today. So I thought 1920s, let's wear a fedora. Let's go.
Oh, I was going to go Sinatra in the 40s or 50s with that hat. That's looking slick.
That could work too. So either way,
Yeah.
I'm covered. I've got a decade.
Very nice. All right. We also have Kelly also wearing a hat. What's up, Kelly?
Hi, I'm eating.
Oh, hi, I'm Brad.
Hi. Yeah, no. Hi. It's been a busy day.
Kelly and I we're up to 24. We bring the ladies in, JR. They want to come in. We went from 8 to 25.
Yeah, I don't know how that happens. I mean,
I do. So Kelly and I were having a discussion. I've never had a frozen burrito before, and her mind was blown.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I don't
it's
blame
delicious.
you. Don't blame you. No.
Not a fan.
No.
Okay, hold on. Well, one, because of me being celiac, I do have to pick what I eat.
That's
true. This is the Tattooed Chef vegan breakfast burrito, and it's good.
Okay.
Very good.
Right.
Did you pay $20 for it?
No, I paid $3 at Target.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well,
okay.
Here, Javi says that Brad is missing out. Okay, Javi enjoys frozen burritos. Yeah. JR, frozen burritos, thumbs up, thumbs down.
I don't do any Mexican.
You don't like any Mexican food? See, I don't like fish, so I understand. I understand. So, all right, 32 people. Boy, they're just popping on in. My goodness. Well, look at this. We've got our newest Patreon and our newest member on YouTube, Winnipeg Webhead. He gets a little special little icon if you're a new membership. So a little icon next to it. So that's kind of cool. Welcome, Winnipeg. That's awesome. He is excited about the Patreon hoodie. He's going to be the first one to get a Crawlspace hoodie.
Wow.
Even I don't have one of those. I've never even seen one.
I still don't have a shirt, so.
I'm printing them, I swear. I swear.
I want a shirt.
I know.
The girls don't get a shirt, apparently.
I know. I'm so sorry. We will get it. Milo, wait, you got membership? Yes. Log on to the YouTube. You can get all these icons. I made Stegron icons. You can in the chat. So go ahead. You can go membership. $3.99, cost of a comic. Okay.
What about Paul?
What about what?
Any Paul icons that you've made?
I have not. I was limited. The more members we get, the more little emojis I can make. I would make a Paul emoji just to tick Chi-Town off. That would be fun. So
okay, like we'll get to it because obviously the ire is my issue. So thanks for that, Brad.
Oh yeah,
but we're gonna get into that and how that's. I do not understand why that's the issue that's going to cause this war.
Well, that's why I gave it to you. I want you to throw the gas on it and just light it, girl.
I think it's more going to be, I'm going to try and be the voice of reason in what is already a powder keg.
Look at this. Milo just signed up as a new Crawlspace YouTube member. Look at that. Awesome. Welcome, Milo. Thanks, man. All right. JR, let me share my screen. Hold on a second.
Okay.
No, it's not. I'm not starting with you. I'm starting with Sarah. JR, forget it.
Well, screw you.
Us. Well, we had $1 every time you said that in nearly 20 years. We'd have a lot more members. So, all right, Sarah, you've got this one. ASM 912. Take me through this, please.
Yes. Amazing Spider-Man 912, written by Zeb Wells. Art by Ed McGuinness, Cliff Rathburn, Marcio Menez, and Eric Arciniega. So the book starts with a big panel of Madeline telling some of the X-Men to wait as she needs to take care of some issues she has with Ben. You see, Jean gave Madeline back the precious memories of her raising her son. and Madeline tells Ben that their plan to get his memories back is over. Madeline can no longer help Ben as she has the responsibility to her position of power in Limbo. See what they did there? Responsibility. Okay.
Responsibility in an X-Men book. Yep.
Yes. We cut to Spider-Man and what are we calling him? I keep wanting to call him Recrap, but I know it's Recrap. So sorry if I make a mistake.
No, it's Recrap. It's Recrap.
Okay.
Recrap. There he is.
We cut to them in Limbo, and okay, this panel is hilarious. Did you just say Recrap? I hate it. Yeah, me too, Spider-Man.
So Spider-Man is the reader.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes. So they're in Limbo and they're fighting Limbo's version of the Insidious Six, which you'll see some of the art is interesting. Then we see Hallows' Eve as she uses her powers against Madeline and takes her scythe, saying that maybe she needs a little bit less responsibility with her power. Again, see what they did there. Yeah. Back to the fight, Spider-Man and Recrap desperately try to save Jonah and Robbie. And then we see Ben and Hallows' Eve as she presents Ben with the power of Limbo. All hail King Chasm. Do you have that panel? Please tell me you have that panel.
All hail King.
No,
see.
It doesn't say that. I'm joking with you.
Wait. All hail King what?
Chasm.
We have the text up there, so.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I didn't make it up.
But that's not how people say it. Some of us in the 4 here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just saying.
No, I struggle so hard, Kelly, not to call it what you call it. I know we're trying to avoid that. So there we go. So Ben is now the king of Limbo. Ben then transports them back to where Spider-Man and Recrap are, and a fight ensues with Ben as the king of Limbo. The book ends as Spider-Man, Recrap, the X-Men, and Madeline join forces to try to defeat Ben.
Okay. There you go. It's a big splash right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go around the horn. Sarah, your grade.
C, but a borderline D. So like C-.
Gotcha. Kelly?
D. Solid D.
JR?
D for dumb.
F for I can't say that. But yes, an F out of me. Go ahead, Sarah. What pros do you like? Do you like Recrap, whatever he is?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. If it's supposed to be campy and horrible and trash, right? That's what it's supposed to be. If I'm really believing that, then I think some of the things that Recrap or whatever does in the fights is kind of funny, like his enthusiasm and the random sounds he makes and his abilities. I don't know if you can pull up the panel, but there's one where he has the finger web guns.
Yeah, I got it. Give me a second.
That one, I thought that one was quite funny in a campy, awful sort of way.
There you go. That one.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
You got it, champ. Like, really? Okay.
I'm good.
One other thing I thought was funny was the way that the Insidious Six in Limbo were designed and the way that they talked, but it was similar to Recrap. So that's basically all I got.
Like, there's some panels of them, and there's Recrap. He doesn't do a thwip. What does he do? A thwang? A thwang, twang, twang, twang?
Yeah, I think it's a thwang, yeah.
Thwang. Yeah. So you had some pros. Let's go around the room. Kelly, you got any pros?
No.
All right, JR, do you have any pros?
I couldn't think of one.
The art, I guess, is not awful.
No, the art's good.
The art's good. That's a pro out of me. But by God, I don't have much. Like,
no,
I can't. I really can't.
Look, I've stated multiple times, I'm only reading these if I'm forced to. And you technically are forcing me.
I'm holding the microphone. Kelly, read this. Read it, Kelly. Talk to the microphone, damn it. No, yes, an F from Brad. What about the cover? The cover isn't even that great with John Romita Jr. And I love John Romita Jr. It's like he's fighting a giant crab. Like, I don't get it.
It does look like a crab.
Yeah, it looks like a giant crab. I think it's supposed to be a scorpion, but I just don't know what's up.
It's generic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So no, Winnipeg and Hornacek, it does not bump it up for me. Okay, Sarah, time for the cons. What do we got?
All right,
What'd you hate?
I'm gonna address the thing that I think everyone is going to address, and I literally wrote that's a hard pass on King Chasm.
Yeah.
So there's that. And
you know what? No, that's a pro actually.
Why?
Just because we can easily Photoshop that into what I call him, and that's art.
Yeah.
Someone's got to do that. Oh my god!
Someone has to do this now. Yeah.
Ellie is asking for a meme. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's it wasn't what I was going to actually say about my cons, though.
But,
so let Sarah finish, though.
I agree with your con on that, Sarah, and the fact that there's been no buildup. Does this feel like he's earned it? Does it feel like he's threatening? Does it feel like, oh, this is the Ben Reilly I was reading in the 90s? It doesn't at all.
He didn't even do it himself,
Yes.
Congrats to Hallows Eve on that one, but I don't know. I thought the whole thing was campy and in a bad way, and that's not how Amazing Spider-Man should be. It's not this way. So that's those are two of the biggest things that I could bring up.
Oh, we forgot. Horner Second Chat says we forgot that our Crawlspacer Bruce got his letter in the letters pages, so that's a pro.
Sorry, Bruce. I stopped reading those a long time ago after Nick Lowe called out Chi-Town. It was antagonistic the first time.
But still, I'm sorry, Bruce, that you're in one of the worst issues in 60 plus years, but you're in the letters pages, my man. Anyway, let's open it up to cons. Kelly, you want to talk about your cons?
Yeah, get the X-Men out of my Spider-Man book.
Amen. It's not peanut butter and chocolate. It doesn't go together.
I mean, they're fun when they're in a Marvel team up together. I'm not saying that. But the issue is, one, they feel just as shoehorned in as this entire plot.
Absolutely.
None of it fits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was it? Neil, last time we recorded, he said that the X-Men thought so little of this crossover, they had to make a little side mini. They're not even in the main X-Men book.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That shows you how little the X-Men care about this.
Well, too, this is the thing. That's a side book for the X-Men, but it's a huge book for Spider-Man. But where is Peter in most of this story?
Yeah, he's putting up with recrap. I mean, unbelievable. Any other cons, Kelly?
That was my main one.
Yeah. JR, it sounds like you were not personally offended since you didn't go down to the F like I did.
No, I wasn't personally offended. I just think this issue was dumb. Just dumb.
Very much so.
Eve's powers are dumb. They're not dumb like, X-Men powers dumb, like breaking off bones and throwing them, or spewing acid or barfing up stuff, like X-Men. But it just putting on Halloween mask, that's dumb, and actually I thought I think I would have liked whatever.
Recrap.
I think I would have liked it more if the whole issue story just wasn't a joke. I mean, it's one of those things where, it's a comic book, we can't take it too seriously. We can't pretend that camp isn't a beloved element or a beloved trope of the comics, but and actually it gets worse a few issues down, where just everybody quips, everybody's clever, everybody's funny, it's all too much, it's all too much. And it feels like, it just feels like it. I mean, it's not even a story,
it's a crossover that we didn't demand, we didn't earn. It randomly just appeared. It's awful, JR. It's flat out awful.
It's not very good. I mean, to be honest, in different hands, this could have been a fun story. But then again, horror and limbo, and this is not really Spider-Man's bag either. I mean, if it was kind of a technological nightmare, for example, then I could kind of see if it was like technology gone wild or something like that. But it's not a Spider-Man story. And King Chasm is there's no. I mean, if Ben Reilly is Peter Parker, this is so far removed from anything that Peter Parker, even a deranged Peter Parker, would want. You know, I mean, it's
you and I have talked about this. I like street level Spider-Man, gangster stuff, Hobgoblin, Green Goblin, a little bit of science, a little bit of street, everyman. The everyman can't relate to going down to limbo and hell and having a clone and go.
Well,
this stuff.
I mean, we did all suffer through the pandemic, so we all did.
Well, that was limbo and hell, wasn't it? I get it. I get what you're going by.
But no, I agree on that. But it's too, kind of like JR was saying, like it's been is a plot device for a plot that didn't fit Spider-Man to begin with, didn't fit the previous storyline. This just kind of got shoehorned in. Don't know who pitched it and who stronghold it, but that's kind of what it feels like. It almost feels like the writing team got held hostage to do this.
Yeah, and there's no connections to anything that was happening before, like there should be in a book that is continuous, you know?
Exactly.
It seems like the editor said we need 2 events a year. And what was the one before? Was it Beyond? Was that the one?
It was well, Beyond was before this, but there wasn't any major event. Yeah, that was a Band-Aid.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute, that was the single greatest comic story ever, according to Nick Lowe, wasn't it? With the greatest collection of talent. You know, I mean,
Kelly, he was reading the letters pages. It was in that. That's where he's quoting from.
Yeah. No. I'm aware. I just see my mental health. Like just not reading Nick Lowe's letter pages did wonders for my mental health.
I'll give you that.
So
I'll give you that.
just a suggestion.
Yeah, don't read
try that.
except when Bruce is in it.
Or Chi-Town.
Or Chi-Town, or
I was about to say,
yeah.
Chi-Town's generally kind of why I don't read Nick Lowe's stuff anymore.
Let's go to the chat about this before we move on. Man, the fans are coming in hard and heavy. Let's see. We got Vinkman. Thanks for the super chat, Vinkman. Recrap is easier to pronounce than rec rap. And agreed. Milo, thank you for the super chat. I bought a new laptop that has better quality. Why does JR's face look more scarier than before? That's so mean, Milo.
I already told you, Milo. I said
on the list?
Age is a terrible thing, and it's going to happen to you too, bud.
JR, get your list out. Is Milo on it? We'd have to check.
No, Milo's not on it because, I mean, it's like the age jokes, the age jokes were pretty well burned through in 2006 and 2007. It's just not a thing. You're not going to get on my list just by telling an age joke.
That's true. We have a new member, Ultimate Spider Plush goes, whoa. So welcome as a new YouTube member. Thank you, Ultimate Spider Plush. That's nice. Let's see.
Well, I have a plush to send you later, Plush.
Oh.
Ultimate Spider Plush says, I still love recrap. I can't.
Rec rap is fun. I just get him out of my ASM, please. Put him in like a side book or something.
Why don't we take GOG and put him down there?
GOG and Rec Rap. They can have a buddy comedy in hell.
Oh yeah. Now you just gave the editors ideas. GOG and Recrap. Let's see. Winnipeg says, I used to be the known as the positive one. Yeah, I gave the lowest grade of the episode. Yeah, unbelievable. Let's see. Adam says he was done after the Hobgoblin arc. Wells is a joke. The Hobgoblin arc I liked a lot. I like the Tombstone stuff, but this is utter crap. Milo says, thank goodness I don't read this anymore. Tevia says, this story sucks. As a fan of Ben Reilly, it's a big slap in the face.
Agreed.
Let's see. It's the ex-reformed Ben 27, says Winnipeg. FFFFFFF. Be Rich from Kansas City says, I agree with Brad. Thank you, my Missouri brother. Garen the Frozen, I enjoy McGinnis's art. Since when did Chasm have wings? When this bullshit flew, that's why. I agree, Eric. King Chasm's going to be a Legends Build-A-Fig, and my wallet's going to have conniptions. But I still hate Dark Wagon. No, Eric, you're going to drop like $100+ for a King Chasm Marvel Legend to build?
Depending on who the characters are, I would get the characters and then just light the Chasm one on fire.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I mean, I was going to say, like, we might need to create a 12-step program helping figure lovers not buy everything Hasbro puts out.
At $22 a pop, too. My heavens. My gosh. Our friend Zach says, Dapper Hats, Sarah. Very nice. We said, Mary, I agree with JR. Mary is JR's biggest fan. We've established this. She is on the good list because Santa JR keeps one. Bizarro Spidey could have been great if it wasn't part of this event that tries to take itself too serious. Yes. Yep.
Mary is full of wisdom.
Isn't Mary the one that called me Baby Yoda?
Oh, yeah, I think she is. So. Yeah.
I just wonder, is Sarah going to put on a bejeweled glove and do a moonwalk before the day's over?
It's Sinatra. It's a Sinatra.
Well, it's Brad's show. If Brad wants you to do it, yeah, sure.
Okay, if we're taking requests, I need a spider push-up out of JR right now. You've done it before. Hey, your best friend JR, Joey Z's in the house. Says
Joey Z.
Everyone quips is my favorite REM song. Beerich says Dark Web is very dumb, JR. Let's see. Has anyone liked this story? I don't really think.
Well, no, not really.
If you go to the letters pages in a few months, I bet you'll find a few.
Oh, I mean, we'll talk about it when we get to my issue because apparently I caused some kind of oddness on Twitter.
No.
Trying to be the voice
Always
of reason.
Always causing trouble on Twitter.
I am. It's weird.
Yep. We have Milo that says Nick makes me feel low.
That's a good one.
Let's see. Adam says low needs to go. Let's see. You guys are rapping.
Those two just rhymed. That was great.
Yeah, we're getting a comment.
Kenneth is new. Welcome, Kenneth. Hey guys, hope you guys are doing well. Current Spider-Man comic books right now are a mixed bag. Reminds me of the early days of the New 52 Superman. Changing the character very bit too much.
Kenneth, you're like a Stan Lee character, with the alliteration with the first and the last name because Stan couldn't. If Stan didn't do that, he didn't remember the name. So
here's an idea. What would we be in the Marvel universe? I would have to have a last name of B. So Brad Brown. I don't know. Forget it. It was a joke that didn't go very well.
Well, I was waiting for a go around.
You want to do it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the go around because I've got a great one.
Or you guys want to make it up your own? Oh God. Okay.
Oh no, I don't want to make up my own.
No. Like we all make our own. It's just we go around.
Okay, I'll be Brad Brown. JR, what will you be? J something.
I don't know. With JR, I could be Jack the Ripper, I suppose. Okay. Or JR Jones.
What?
Okay. JR Jones.
JR Jones. Kelly, what?
Oh, Mayday Parker.
Oh no, it has to have a K. K, and you have to have a last name of K.
No, it's Mayday Parker.
There went the whole motif.
There's no alliteration.
Exactly my point.
Kelly's not playing. Sarah,
you had that plan. You had that plan right when you asked
I know she
Brad
did.
To do that.
She's like, "Oh yeah, let's do it, Brad. Let's do it." And I'm not going to play. Okay, go ahead, Sarah.
I don't know.
Sarah Smith. All right, we're going.
Perfect.
And Venkman's our newest YouTube member. What's going on, Venkman? Thank you for signing up. Man, the membership's blowing up. I love it. I just turned that thing on this week. Boy, that sounds odd. Let's see. My goodness, chat. Oh yeah, Ultimate Rec Rap movie from Sony coming soon.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it either. Javi, our friend Javi, great point, Kelly, about the lack of Peter having a story in this. Amen. Let's see. Hey George, what's up? George isn't on the show. I don't know.
Wait, is he in the comments?
Oh, is he?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Brewhammer's George, I think. Yeah. Y'all be nice to JR. Every day we have with him is a blessing, George. There we go.
Aww.
George, you're watching. You aren't missing a damn thing, my friend. Oh my gosh. Chat, I'm going to have to go on to the other one. We're going to have a ton of chat going. Brad Bradford. Yes, there you go, Adam. Thanks. Brad Buckley. Thank you, Javi. Brad Best. J.R. Jonah Jameson. That's the best one.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. Yep. Big check mark for you, Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Even if you are a Canuck.
All right. So why there's reasons to my madness of why I sign books.
Yeah.
JR, you get this steaming finale.
I do.
JR, take me through this.
I can't wait.
Oh God. Oh no, he's cracking his knuckles, ladies and gentlemen.
Alrighty. The story opens with King Chasm, who's King Chasm because he stole the scythe of sorrows from the Goblin Queen, who really doesn't look like a goblin. And by getting her scythe, he gets the throne, even though, like I said, she doesn't look anything like a goblin. Hallows Eve, he and Hallows Eve are in the limbo-ized New York City, which has become quite the literal and figurative hellscape. So they figured that, since they figure they've won the battle, they're going to do their own Macy's Day Parade with their fellow demons right down the streets of New York City. Okay, so we turn the page and say, hey, look at those cast of characters. It's Firestar and Iron Man. Or Iron Man, Iceman.
How dare you?
Nothing like short-circuiting a joke before you get it out. God. Hey, try that again. Firestore.
Well, no, not Firestore.
Firestar.
Quit insulting my amazing friends.
Firestar and Iceman. Now, Brad Douglas could have one of his little Spider-Man and his amazing friends flashback. Just like that episode, Sure Lady from the Future, I'll go to the future with you, where I'll be as obsolete as Burgess Meredith in a Twilight Zone episode, and I won't even bother to stop by Aunt May and tell her anything. That was a really dumb episode. Remember that episode?
Is it the one where he broke his glasses?
I don't know. It's the one where he was going to go with the chick. This chick came from the future, and then all of a sudden it was like, hey, Peter, I'd like to go with me to the future. And he said, yeah, I'll go with you to the future. And then they say, she gets there and they say, no, we can't take, he doesn't belong here because he's got germs.
Hornacek says Firestorm and Icebox. There we go.
you're the biggest Spidey and his amazing friends, and you don't remember that stupid ass episode?
I don't. Milo, you're being generous with the masters at work. Okay,
be careful what you wish for, Brad.
I know. Jeez. All right.
Okay. But, and also look, it's our old pal Sink, another one of those worthless X-Men.
Who?
Sink. Now, Brad.
So they literally threw everything and the kitchen sink. Okay, gotcha.
I don't know, boys and girls. I don't know if you remember discussing Sink and how he sinks up with people. But we discussed this during the Spider-Man Crawlspace podcast number 149.
Oh my God.
August 2011 edition, before Spider History was spun off into its own highly successful show. But it's actually, that episode is actually more famous for being the Who Was Joey Z episode. So
I don't remember the Sink episode, but wait.
We started off with Sink. They fought Plant Man.
Which one's Sink? Is it this guy over here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Sink.
Yeah,
they do to Firestar's costume.
He's
awful.
The severely tanned Patrick Stewart. So
what's up with Firestar's? Why she got a ceiling fan on her chest? What is that?
That's art, Brad.
Shut up.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're slowing things up here, All right. So Spider-Man and the Goblin Queen, who's no goblin, by the way, they get into an argument about who gets to take down Ben. And Spider-Man convinces her to let him do it because, well, Ben is acting stupid. And that's all it takes. His plan to try to get Spider-Man to eat some.
I'm trying to get the
green
panel. Give me a minute.
What?
Almost there. Is this it? Is that it? JR?
No. Wait, what are you
Okay. Oh, got it. I was already on it earlier. It's that one. Yeah, that's it. Right there.
Yeah. It's like, he says, well, Ben is acting stupid. And, after all, I mean, his plan to try to get me to eat some green booger ball was really stupid. And, that makes me the right guy to take him down. And Madeline agrees. That was, So, okay, the X-Men, decide to fight against the demons for 3 pages, and then we're reintroduced to the new Eddie Brock, who is no longer Venom but Bedlam. I have no idea why, because I didn't read any of that crap. And if it was an Amazing Spider-Man, I didn't read it because I just glanced over it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Eve puts on a werewolf mask and turns herself into a werewolf to fight Wreck-Rap. And, it was done better when Enid Sinclair finally wolfed out in the last episode of Wednesday. I tell you.
That was a modern reference, my man. Look at you. That's what. Round of applause for JR. That's not from the 50s or 60s. I love it.
All right. Binged them all in one fantastic night, with my lovely bride at my side. Hey. So anyway, well,
all right. All of them.
Now all the demons, of course, now all the demons are back.
You just spoke highly of your wife too. I love that.
Well, I have been smoking some pretty good pot lately.
Oh,
well, it's legal in Missouri. Yeah.
Well, so is marrying your cousin, but
anyway. Wait a minute now. Okay. Jesus. Keep going. Keep going. All
right. Okay. Did
you lose your bookmark?
Well, I just got.
You made fun of me.
Yeah,
come on, man.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, stop slowing things down.
I just got to take it.
Yes.
Huh?
She quoted you to you. She said, "Quit slowing things down." I love it. Hit him with his own words.
Hey, honestly,
I'm catching my breath because I'm old. Okay, I don't have my oxygen tank here with me.
Look,
and that's you guys are being.
All I hear are
ageist.
Excuses.
No, I'm not being ageist. You can go as slow as you want because that means less time for my issue, and that means less time of everybody yelling at each other, and we're good.
All right. I think the chat's blowing up now. Wait till Kelly gets to the last book. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So all the demons now are barreling down on the X-Men, and Cyclops says, "Let's give them a wedgie." So, yeah, put the panel up.
What is it? This one?
No.
That one?
No. Prior one.
Prior one.
Good Lord, you're more lost than I am.
This one?
No.
Oh, good God. Just keep going.
All right. He says, give him a wedgie. Oh, jeez.
Give him a wedgie. Are you talking about the one with Havoc?
I can't count on you to pick up my jokes. But anyway, I should know better. All right. So Eve puts on that stupid ass Frankenstein mask and turns into Frankenstein to battle Wreck-Rap.
I'm there. I got it. There it is.
All right. So there it is. And then just when it looks like King Chasm is about to choke Spidey in a vicious death grip, dun, 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 Norman Osborn, the Gold Goblin, which is a pretty stupid name. But anyway, he comes to the rescue with Ms. Marvel, who we can't forget her because Marvel keeps trying to make her happen. And then the Gold Goblin says, "Ms. Marvel, my diversity hire, why don't you use some of your powers that were so stupid? Apparently the creators of your abysmally low-rated TV show on Disney Plus didn't even want to use them." So, but then suddenly the Goblin Queen, who doesn't look anything like a goblin, is overwhelmed by demons. And just at the last minute, when it looks like the end is near for her, she unleashes her greatest power, the power of underboob. Just like a pinup. I mean, it's like, I almost felt like I was 14 again when I was reading my comic book or whatever. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey!
I can't with you. I can't with you.
All right. So
the power of the what?
Underboob.
I mean, it's some pretty serious underboob though. I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean, there's not a single bit of gratuity in. Well, maybe there is. In this, is there? I mean,
Inferno, might as well keep it. Yeah.
It's not a deliberate cheesecake shot, is it? All right. So.
Oh, tell me, Kelly didn't miss that.
Put that on your wall, little boys.
Kelly, did you miss that? Did you miss that?
Yes.
Yes,
oh
he did.
God. Okay.
That's
okay.
fine.
Let me rewind. JR.
What?
Okay.
What?
Okay. Jokes aren't good the second time around. I mean, she can watch the tape.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
we'll make plenty of better jokes later.
Okay. Well, this needs to be a YouTube short. What you just did. Here, where's my pen? This needs to be a time code. We are 35 minutes in. JR.
Well, the demon
of the
Underboob.
Okay, got it.
All right. Well, the demons are no match for the power of Underboob, and they turn against King Chasm and stupid ass Halloween Mask Girl. So because he doesn't want her to get hurt, King Chasm zaps stupid ass Halloween Mask Girl away from the battle, and Queen Underboob tells King Chasm to quit stroking that scepter, and she gets a strong, tight grip on it and jerks it out of his hands.
Oh, God.
Soundly defeating and deflating him. All right.
Well, the Underboob's gone too.
Yeah, I know. Well, she used it. She used the power of Underboob. Everybody's defeated. So she goes back undercover. All right. So
what was Kelly saying, real quick? What'd you say, Kelly?
I was just about to say it. It almost really sounded like King. Chasm. Really blew it.
Yes, Winnipeg, we're pushing the PG-13, aren't we, baby?
But for real, is it chasm or chasm?
Well, it's not what Kelly's about to say. So
no, I know.
I've been good. I've been good this entire time.
Yes, that's true.
All right. Well, Ben / Chasm is banished to some kind of limbo purgatory where he can eat all the green booger balls that he wants. Peter tries to make peace, but since we've spent all this time trying to hype Ben up as this heinous villain who belongs in the Classic Roads Gallery, and Marvel isn't going to give it up, so he tells Peter to piss off because, he's just so evil. All right. God. Spidey leaves Limbo Purgatory and the comic, and then the last 2 pages are just X-Men crap. The end. And that is the end of Dark Web. And if anybody can find a story there, please tell me.
The power of the Underboob. Okay, JR, your grade for this is...
Oh, Lord. No, it's a D-. It's a D-.
Really? Okay.
Yes, it is. Come on.
All right. Sarah, your grade?
D.
Okay, Kelly?
D-. Okay.
F. JR? Not personally
I really
offended.
thought the power Underboob would get you to bring that up a little bit, I figured that would kind of get you to. I kind of figured that would get you to firm up your grade, if you know what I mean. So
please don't do this to me, okay? I don't want this from you. I feel like Kirby. Okay, JR pros. Okay, let's go to cons, JR. I'm just kidding.
Well, the cons are just pretty well, I
was kidding. You can do pros. The art, obviously, we said that again.
The art doesn't do anything. I'll use the art for a pro for the next couple of issues, but the art doesn't do anything particularly for me. I don't have any pros. I really don't.
Okay. Kelly, you got any pros?
No.
Okay. Sarah, you're my only hope. Do you have any pros?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Brad. But no.
Some? Oh.
No, I have none. Other than that one panel, but we're not going to talk about that.
Oh yeah. Okay. JR. Cons. Where shall you start? You probably don't even like the look of Norman in this, do you?
Well, we don't see Norman. We just see this. I don't know what not my favorite look. Not my favorite look. I would tell Norman to go back to that. You know what? Norman probably got this from that dresser in the She-Hulk miniseries. That looks like something stupid that asshat would come up with. Did you watch the She-Hulk series?
I did, but I don't remember a dresser.
You don't remember that?
Yeah, the costume designer.
Oh, I was thinking like furniture. I apologize. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Got it.
Whoa.
No, I thought you like
welcome to Missouri, everybody. Please drive carefully.
I did think of a pro.
Oh, thank God. One of us has one. Go ahead.
I did think of one. So I really like the art representation of the limbo nonsense. So like here, like the faces and stuff. You probably have a better panel, but I just happen to have it.
There you go.
I just happen to have it.
No, that's not a bad looking.
Where's my finger? Okay, the faces and stuff, in the buildings and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty neat. very nice hellscape to go with the.
Yeah, the art's not bad. I don't like the redesign of what Strom or whatever JR called her. Spidey doesn't look particularly good in some of these panels. That doesn't look very good.
It looks very pointy.
Yeah, it's anyway. Cons, JR, anything else?
Well, I have to. I mean, I have always said, I am a fan of the female form. I mean, after all, I made 2 kids with it. But
oh my God,
this is kind of gratuitous. I mean, it's like, come on, this is infantile, really.
I mean, that is how she dresses.
Well, right? I know. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I mean, who can take her seriously?
Well, let's hear 2 female opinions. Is that offensive, or what's your thoughts on that?
It was offensive, just dumb.
I mean, it's been her costume for what, almost over 30 years. So right. I'm pretty desensitized to it. I don't find it necessarily like the worst costume design ever. Or, she is a formidable foe she's a formidable foe when she's written well. And that's kind of the situation here is she's been shoehorned in. Right. So how are you supposed to actually find her, intimidating when she's barely been around? And really it's just like, because like the only reason she's there is because someone said so. Like, let's just add her for plot. It's just here's this device. Who cares? Like, there is literally no reason she should be in this story. Period.
Yeah, agreed. She's a character that was used to be in the X-Men mini. That's the only reason she was in this book, I think. But if we go to the debate of how women are scantily clad, men should be dressed like Havoc here more often, right?
Yeah,
Don't
sure.
you think?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
honestly though, I've seen. I mean, not like this makes it any better or anything, but I've seen worse with women in comic books.
Absolutely.
And X-Men.
And Kelly, you've talked about this. Mayday is one of the rare female characters that's drawn like a teenager and covered like a teenager, sometimes, at least by Mr. Friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've noticed, depending on the writer or artist, especially recently, it's gotten a little sock booby. But it's she's been fairly not covered up, but it's been very age appropriate. There's
no spider cleavage on Mayday.
No, but what was it? What was the granddaughter in some Elseworld story? She had the boob window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
because she's like Barton, Ashley Barton.
Oh yeah.
Spider Bee. Yeah. Spider Bee, I think is what her name is. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
All right. Should we move on from here, or?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. We should get comments. I have not done comments. They're blowing up here. Be Rich, my Kansas City brother. Thank you. Missouri Rocks, JR. Tevia says I miss Mayday Parker. Let's see. Get rid of Ben. Bring Kane back. The worst costume belongs to King Chasm. Let's see. Why couldn't they have Kane be in this event and get rid of Ben Reilly?
But see, Kane wouldn't have worked here either, because Kane honestly is smart enough, like has always been written smarter than any, like he wouldn't have walked into this crap.
He's smarter than all of us.
Again, none of this should be happening. Like, this doesn't make any sense. It's just not. It's not organic. It's shoehorned in.
It's a bean counter saying, "Hey, we need an event. We need to sell X amount of books, literally X amount of books. So combine it with Spider-Man. Let's see what happens. Throw it against the wall, and we saw it land flat. Let's see. JR, you love the book. Be honest.
No.
Tevia, why didn't Spider-Man give Ben Reilly his memories? I think the Spider-Man 75, Peter would have given Ben his memories. If Ben wasn't written so like an idiot,
Tevye, just read that stupid ass Beyond saga, okay? That'll answer all your questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
He gives this event a big F.
If I were a rich man.
Let's see. Pro Rec Rap survives. I assume. I didn't buy this.
We never see him, so I assume.
He's not dead. Eric says, point of the event, new toys to chill, Chasm, King Chasm, Gold Goblin, Hallows Eve, Rec Rap, Build-A-Figure. There's not much else here except the art.
Yep.
Very true. It's IP. It's IP. If you listen to Nickelback's Hero when reading the scene where Norman comes in, it bumps up the whole letter grade. Says,
I mean, that's fair, actually.
And a hero. Hornacek Pro, I didn't buy the issue. Spidey Dude says, as the biggest Ben Reilly fan you know, Douglas, I hated this with the fire of 1,000 suns. Yes. As a Spider-Ben fan, this must just tick all of them off. Here's crossing my fingers that issue 20 personally offends someone. Carlos says he loves JR's hand movements. Stop with that. This event sucked. This is reminding me of when the podcast was a bit more adult. Still love the podcast either way, says Hearing.
If we had it my way, I would have said at least one R-rated word, but I'm not going to because I'm being kind.
Sarah, all four of us would like to be gainfully employed, and a lot of people watch this, so that's why we.
It's true.
Brad is personally offended. Yeah. Yes, Brad is personally offended. Hence, I gave it an F because this does not belong in my Spider-Man. Winnipeg. Quote, jokes aren't good the second time around, says JR, the man who constantly referenced how Brad had to spoil the mysterious vagrant in Spider history. Boy, that's twice tonight. Someone hit JR with his own quotes.
They're not good during this. He wanted me to tell the joke right after I had already told it.
Oh, I'm sure that would be the difference.
There's a big difference between, and besides, also the whole joke about the vagrant is, Brad trying to spoil the story. That was what that was about.
It's more of a you never tell the same joke twice, but a bit is far, far different than that.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Milo, thanks for the super chat. Got to see you all later when he listens on Spotify. See you all later, you amazing hosts. Let's see. I missed the hoodie Ben used to wear. Later, Milo. I don't want to put that up. Let's see.
Okay.
It's 2 a.m. in the UK. Get some sleep, Milo. Let's see. I would rather play Hi-Fi Rush than read this terrible dark. What's Hi-Fi Rush? Help me out. I'm over 40.
I don't know. But didn't Tiva have a question for me? I saw it way up top, but I don't know.
I think it was how would you end Dark Web? If I remember.
Oh, how would I end Dark Web? Peter would have woken up. He had been in a 20-year coma. And because he got shot in Civil War, and Aunt May died, but he's still married, and now everything's fine again.
I'd buy that book. Hey, would you mind doing an interview with the Crawlspace, Kelly, as being the new Amazing Spider-Man writer? I bet you we could. We have a connection. Yeah. No, Nick Lowe says I can't. Oh,
I've been summoned. Be right back.
Damn.
What? JR's leaving?
Bye,
you
JR.
Can't be that ticked that Kelly's the new ASM writer. I mean, come on. Okay, let's see. Well, wait a minute. Who's got this book? This would be...
I just have 20.
Is this Mike?
Probably.
I think so.
Nuts. Let's see. Yep, it is Mike, and Mike sent me a DM. Let me see what it says. Brad, well, crap, it looks like I'm not going to be able to make it to the review show, but I'll still be there to make it for satellites. Well, damn, Mike, we just got your cancellation notice. This is the first. Okay. Ladies, would you like to go through it? Either one of you off the cuff?
Sarah?
I can try, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And we have Sarah with the latest issue of Amazing Spider-Man. Good job, Sarah.
Oh, not the latest.
No.
Yeah, I have the latest. Thanks, Brad.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so here we go off the cuff. So, okay, we start off with Peter and Felicia fighting.
Real quick before you go, I hate to say this, but can you reference this right here that Mary Jane's married?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you just referenced it. So there's
well, I did.
Mysteriously, long-term, it's okay. So, normal, like when your long-term girlfriend is mysteriously married with kids. Okay. Wow. That's a surprise. Okay.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Off panel, evidently.
Cool.
Thank you though for mentioning it, because that is something that I actually bring up in my issue.
Yeah.
With everyone's ire to explain things.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Yep. No problem.
So we start off with Peter and Felicia fighting these robot things. And Peter is talking about how his life is kind of sort of good at the moment with Felicia. They fight some more. Then they have defeated the villains, the robots. And you see them drinking some hot chocolate, chilling on a rooftop, talking about going on a vacation. But would the city fall apart without Spider-Man for a whole weekend? Apparently not, because they drive. They're on their way to a spa. Peter's excuse is he's going to an engineering convention. But they get there, and guess who's there?
Wait a minute. Don't forget the Aunt May condom joke.
Oh, no, I wanted to skip over that. But we can.
No, we can't.
Don't forget to wear a raincoat, she says. Oh, my goodness.
God.
Aunt May, no thank you. Would rather avoid
Wait,
that.
no. You need to listen to Aunt May.
No, Aunt May's giving good advice.
Oh, yes, you're right. Listen to Aunt May, but like I don't need that. I don't need that from Aunt May right now. I don't need to see that.
That's true. It's awkward. But
yes.
Yeah, Aunt May's giving some Planned Parenthood advice or something.
Yes,
yeah.
Look. I mean, I understand where she's coming from.
However, poor Aunt May might need a grandkid at some point. I don't know.
Not from Felicia.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Her kids are the most, her kids really are the messed up ones of Spider-Girl.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that. Yeah.
Yep. Anyway.
All right. So they're driving down.
They're driving down, and finally they get there, and guess who is there with them?
The newlywed herself, Mary Jane
Paul.
Yeah,
Mary Jane and Paul.
We don't know Paul's last name, do we?
No.
Oh God. JR, what is that? What is
that?
Oh,
yay!
Yes!
What is that? Oh no!
Yes!
Not a Paul shirt.
Yes!
You're disgracing the. Oh.
Yes.
The Amazing Spider-Man Crawlspace is back.
Good.
Okay. Oh, Neil, it's Paul Watson.
Watson.
he took her name.
Absolutely, because he didn't have his own. Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. Paul Paulson. There you go. That's a good one. Paul Space.
Paul Space.
Paul placeholder.
You know what? If he winds up as Paul Palmer, I'll die.
Oh no.
Well, that's already been a thing though. What issue was it? No, Peter Palmer. Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Patreon members get a Paul Space shirt.
Forget it.
Skytown screaming in the heavens. Oh my God.
I'm glad you understand the joke as
it took me a minute, but I got it.
I'm sorry. Kelly, what was the joke? I was Paul spacing it all.
Paul Palmer.
Oh yeah.
Remember original name of Peter Parker?
Yeah.
Paul Palmer.
Yeah. Got it. All right. Where were we? We're with the newlyweds.
They're all together at this spa, right? And Peter is awkwardly trying to convince Mary Jane that it wasn't on purpose, and that they don't want to waste a romantic evening where MJ's like, romantic, huh? Right, with the black cat. Then Black Cat's like, okay, gotta go. Let's get out of here. Takes him up.
We need to see the spider boxers, by the way, which are here, kitty, kitty.
Oh yes.
Here, kitty, kitty boxers.
That's what we didn't need to see. I would much rather take a sex ed class from Aunt May than see those boxers.
Okay.
That's something else. Those boxers. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So then they head up. You were saying, yeah.
Then they head up. They head up the mountain. Well, that's literally what it says. One could drive up a mountain road later. Peter and Felicia are talking about Peter and Mary Jane, and
talk about your exes with your new one. Come on, Peter.
Yes. Well, it's really bothering him. That's something that he needs to talk about with her, I think, for sure.
Well,
that's not just going to disappear.
It's not like the three of them don't have history and a weird love triangle to begin with, so.
Yeah. Then, all of a sudden, we see White Rabbit and some other villains. We see
Doc Ock and Vulture.
Vulture, Green Goblin back there.
Yeah.
Interesting. And with more outdated references, Bazinga from White Rabbit. And they're battling these villains. Spider-Man and Black Cat obviously join in to try to help her out. And White Rabbit in the middle of the fight calls a timeout.
Yeah.
Felicia says, "Is this third grade?" Because apparently it is. We're talking about how they're not actually paid actors; they're the real deal. That Spider-Man and Black Cat are not paid actors. That's what they mean. And then all of a sudden, they are not fighting anymore. And then it looks like that they're together, talking more about what White Rabbit's plans are. And we continue, and they are discussing the stuff with Tombstone.
And that's his mobster or whatever, right? Tombstone's mobster, the guy with the...
Yeah.
Wait, lobster or mobster?
Mobster.
Both.
And him and
the mobster likes lobster, you know.
I heard lobster and I was just like, wait, what?
Your spider fish sense went off where you hear seafood.
But it looks to be that look at that panel up top. It looks to be like they're a little bit of a thing over there. White Rabbit and him.
He's getting a little tail. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That was awful.
I know.
I'm not allowed to say the word I'm not allowed to say, but you
well, she's a rabbit. Tail rabbit. Get it? Okay.
Well, he is the host. I guess he gets some new line.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So on the very next page, we see the Mysterio with an umbrella through his head.
Yeah.
And White Rabbit's comment, "Wow, he was a really good kisser." And then Black Cat, "You are a broken person." I love that. That was fantastic. So then the other villains are like, "Hey, like, we're not going to jail. Like, this isn't happening. We need to take this over and get this going." And turns out that that's a bad thing for White Rabbit, Spider-Man, and Felicia, and the book ends.
Yep. And aren't those guys? Oh, they're up celebrating. They work for an office or a tech company or something, and they go up to a retreat and they are renting out costumes, right? From Tombstone, is that right? Or Tombstone or White Rabbit,
something like that. It's dumb.
All right, Sarah, that was very good, by the way, Sarah. Very good.
Yay,
Last minute, Mike called in sick, and you're there. All right, Sarah, what would your grade be for that one?
I thought there were bits of it that were funny, so a C-.
Okay, Kelly?
D.
JR?
I gotta give it a D.
I'll give it a D also. It wasn't Aw, as bad as Dark Web. So I'm going D also. Sarah, your pros on it?
I thought the jokes that were in the book were funny, like the boxers thing and the anime thing. But funny that they were all at the same spot together. I think that's an odd coincidence.
Right.
Yeah, that's really all I got.
The art is a pro for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like Terry Dodson a lot, and doesn't his wife on pencils?
Rachel Dodson did inks.
Inks, sorry, not pencils.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always that dates back to the Black Cat Evil That Men Do. That he penciled that with Kevin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care for that many, but the art you can't complain about. So he's been drawing Black Cat for 20 plus years. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Pros, Kelly.
I never thought I'd see a anime like episode in an issue of Spider-Man, but here we are.
You think it looked anime-ish?
No, so it didn't look anime-ish. This is literally ripped from like, oh hey, we need a little B story before our next arc. How about the whole gang goes to the spa or the whole gang goes to the beach? It's a very classic anime trope, and that's exactly what happened here. So I guess that's sort of a pro. Like, I mean, it's a good low stakes story, which after what we've been dealing with is good.
Yeah.
But that's as nice as I can say. So
JR, pros out of you?
Well, the Dodson art is about it.
Aunt May joke, did it go well for you, JR?
Was it good for me?
No, was the joke good for you?
Well, isn't it obvious then that Aunt May knows that Peter is Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I mean, and how long are we going to do this dance that she doesn't know? So,
wait, does Felicia? Let me look at Black Cat for a second. I mean, if you look at Felicia and you just look at her with that mask on, you can tell who that is with the mask on or off. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know it's comics and Robin wore it for years with Batman and got away with it.
Yeah, but Felicia's the Black Cat's identity is public knowledge. I mean, it's not.
It is.
Yeah. Unlike what Dan Slott tried to convince you of, several years ago when he tried to turn her into a kingpin of crime in New York, and she carried a grudge against Spider-Man because he revealed her identity to the world. And it's like, they've known your identity since issue like 195. So.
Right. How about the boxers joke, JR? That a pro or a con?
Cheap. It's a cheap ass joke. Well, maybe not the ass, but anyway, it's
ass cheek joke.
It is a cheap joke.
Yeah, Kelly.
I just have a question, and I mean it can be for anybody, but if your significant other, you're recently dating this person, and the significant other shows up in underwear that matches your name or your personality or something, wouldn't you feel really awkward about that? Like, I personally would not allow him in my bedroom. Like, he can go stay out in the hallway for that.
I feel you.
That is just not cool. It's kind of weird. It's a little too intense and need to.
Wait a minute. Well, I mean, it's Peter. It's Peter wearing the boxers, right?
Yeah, and Peter can go stay out in the hallway.
Did he? Wait a minute. Okay, let's look at the panel. Did she pull it? How did he just drop his robe, or how did the robe drop?
It looks like it got caught on the table, which is also awkward and weird and doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But anyway.
Okay.
No, this is an accident, but he wore these for his romantic spa date with Felicia. So he was expecting her to see them at some point. Otherwise, he wouldn't have just randomly wore them.
But he didn't wear it to tick off Mary Jane.
No. And I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm literally that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you were Black Cat, and the person that you were on this date with shows up in Black Cat themed underwear, are you going to screw them later? No. You're gonna feel really creeped out and kick them out. At least I would, because it'd be too much.
Okay, let me get this right here because I'm gonna start making. Okay, I'm gonna start making a list. Okay, Guy, things that will get you kicked out of Kelly's room, things that will let you stay in Kelly's room.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Things that are turn-offs to women. JR, start a book.
I'm just saying. Like it just feels too, like it's cheerleader.
It's too assumptive.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
That. Yeah.
What the hell was that word?
I don't know.
It's a version of assumption.
It just to me, it just means that like he clearly like. I don't know. I have questions ultimately, but I have more questions after reading the next issue.
Oh yeah.
It just to me feels like it's coming on too strong. It's too desperate.
Gary says Felicia probably gave him to her. Or not.
That sounds like something she would do though.
That's not something she'd do.
Okay. I forget where we are. I think we're on cons. Are we?
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. Any other cons?
Well, I guess I'm getting tired of everybody in the comic acting like high schoolers, talking like high schoolers. I mean, these are grown adults, and I would like to see Peter and Spidey and Felicia have a serious talk about where their relationship is
They've been dating since the 80s, off and on. I mean,
and how Peter feels about Mary Jane. This just reeks of juvenile. This is a juvenile story.
I agree.
Another thing is, are they trying to Harley Quinn-ize White Rabbit?
Mm-hmm.
She's been making an awful lot of appearances lately. I mean, and she's a good tacky dumb villain because you need tacky dumb villains. But a little goes a long way with them. So
I not mind her, but there was a recent Peter David story that he did with White Rabbit that made her kind of evil. Kind of more evil than she has been in the past instead of a dumb villain. I thought that was a cool way to go with her, but this is the totally opposite of that most recent appearance. If not any more comments on this, let's go to the chat. Jonathan says, I agree with Kelly. I'm cool with MJ wearing a Spidey shirt because of the marriage.
I mean, she wasn't here, so that's a little weird to say. Like, I'm like, this is in the story. Like, like I said, it's more just weird. It just seems like he was too presumptive. It was like he knew he was going to get laid.
Yeah.
It's weird.
George in the house says the grown adults are being written by man children, says George. Why did Joe Kelly write this terrible story? The story is a train wreck, and it isn't funny how Joe Kelly writes this train wreck. Let's see.
I wonder on the time frame, because the second issue there's some art that's messy, and that's not normally Dotson's style.
That's a con out of me. We'll hit that up. I agree.
Yeah. So again, I'm wondering how much time they really had to get this out.
I don't think the idea was flushed out very well. It didn't read very coherently.
No.
Let's see.
But I'm glad you brought that up. That is a really good point, because I think that explains a lot of the juvenile.
I think so too.
Joke, because it's like if you're trying to write funny or something, basically you'll write like in a stream of consciousness in a way.
Yep. The first draft. It's a first draft.
Yeah, first draft. And then you say, oh yeah, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. No, this is too much. And you start editing. But yeah, this kind of reads like a stream of consciousness first draft.
Yeah, it really does, especially the second issue, because things start to fall apart.
Yeah.
I do think Peter would be more upfront with his issues between, him and MJ and his feelings about that with the Black Cat. I think that him not really being straightforward or them taking it lightly or as a joke really was not the right way to go.
So the way that like their relationship reads, like current Peter and Felicia, it really feels more like friends with benefits, which is fine. Mm-hmm. So like this whole, like they're talking as if like this is some super romantic situation. It's not, because they haven't had that talk yet. Like I said, all of this feels very, like I said, it's like a random anime episode where things don't quite fit in because it's just filler for the next story.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
Eric says that Marvel Knights was primo Dodson and Cho. Was it Cho on that one also? That was 12 issues. I remember Dotson did some of it. It's one of your favorites, JR.
Yeah, I think Cho was like maybe like a couple issues in the middle or something like that. I think it was, or was it, or vice versa. But it was like one of them through several issues, and then the other one did a couple issues. I don't remember who did what. But Cho's, yeah, I like Cho's stuff too.
Kelly, you mentioned this is an anime theme. I think this is a comment about that. Will Peter invite Felicia to the next fall festival? Is that an anime deal?
That and it's also a juvenile kind of joke. Yeah. Like, oh, well, he invited her to the dance? And yes, no, that's exactly kind of.
Gary in the Frozen wants to test our spider history. When did Aunt May first meet Felicia in the comics? What was their first interaction?
Wow, the only one I actually remember is actually when Peter's identity was revealed. During those stories that Roberto Aguirre Sacasa was writing, and which is a pretty good story.
Even during Spec in the 80s with Mantlo?
I don't think
they didn't meet?
No, I don't think so, because I think the closest Felicia got was when she was trying to find Spider-Man during that stupid ass Secret Wars story. She got into the tree, I think, looking in the window of Aunt May's house, but I don't think they ever.
What interacted. About when Felicia got with Flash after he got married? Did she ever run into him then?
Not that I remember, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, but the only real interaction I remember them having is that one story during the after Back in Black, when basically Aunt May says that he didn't think, well, it's obvious Aunt May didn't like Felicia then. That was a pretty good story, actually. But no, I don't remember any other interaction, really.
Neil says the Pro, no Baja Blast except the one in Brad's cup. Yeah, baby.
Whoa. Whoa. What kind of cup are we talking about here?
I got this for Christmas, by the way. I got it's like the animated series.
Oh, that's
It's like
cool.
one of those, but I put it in the dishwasher. Look what's happened to the top. Evidently I have to hand wash this thing. See, it's coming apart a little bit, but it's actually.
Is that the cup from Target?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
My daughter got that from Target for me. Yeah.
It's supposed to be a Tervis, so it should have held up. So that's really weird.
It is a Tervis.
What?
Yeah. It's a name brand. It's kind of overpriced for what they
wasn't
are.
Wasn't that the Mad Hatter's last name in Batman?
No, that's Jarvis.
Oh.
Neil disagrees on the art. This is nowhere near Dodson's best.
It's not.
It's not. It's still better than some others. It's still better than Humberto on a bad day. But
it's great. It's great art because it's a Dodson. It's just it really isn't his best. Like I said, you can tell that he was rushed.
This one is much better than the next one.
Yes.
Adam wants to know why Kelly didn't write this issue of Amazing Spider-Man for that well. Mary says that Sarah is a great panelist in addition to the show. And I would agree with that. Thank you, Mary. I agree. Sarah rocks. We haven't had Sarah on in a bit. The times haven't worked out. I'm glad you're here tonight.
Yeah, I've been out of town, but I'm glad I'm back.
I just kind of wonder if the hats are going to be a thing, and then the next episode she'll be wearing, something else.
It's funny you say that, JR, because I have a hat collection, so you shall see.
I mean, and like the next time it'll be like Carmen Miranda or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I can give you a preview if you'd like. Next time I'll have a hat.
Patreon, our next show.
It's red hat. And it has cup holders, and I can put pop in there, and drink from there.
Does it come with a straw?
Yes, it does.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're wasting it on pop?
Yeah.
Pop? We are in the ASM show, JR. Yes, I am wasting it on.
We drink at Patreon. Anyway, I don't know what Joey Z is referencing, but Tom Holland went too hard dancing to Rihanna again.
Oh, the umbrella. Umbrella in Mysterio.
You know this, Brad.
Come on. He did the umbrella dance.
The lip syncing competition.
I do, but what was he referencing in this review? I don't know.
He was referencing Mysterio being stabbed. Mysterio being stabbed with the umbrella.
Yeah.
That's clever. I get it. Into the Pulver's coming 2023. George says I feel like spending time with Brad should come with a 2-drink minimum and a prime rib buffet. Thank you for that, George. B. Rich gave this issue an F. An umbrella could have been the Penguin. Paul Palmer, The Amazing Spider-Man specifically, with no hyphen.
No hyphen.
I don't know why Neil sent me to the dungeon, but there I go.
Oh, the tail comment.
Yeah, you didn't.
Oh yeah, I forgot I did that. That was a good one, Brad. Thank you.
No. Did you just congratulate yourself?
Yes.
Is that what just happened?
It was like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, but I know funny.
If he doesn't pat himself on the back, no one else will.
Everyone on the show should wear hats for satellites. Cool beans. Brad, get a hat. We're gonna wear hats. I have spoken. Do I have a hat around here? No. I don't have a hat. Oh, I do.
You got to have a hat.
I got to get a ladder, though. Okay. Good God.
I was about to say, you don't go out in the freezing weather with no covering on that, do you?
Anyway.
Since you don't have any natural insulation on top?
Insulation? All right. I got plenty of insulation. Let's go to... Let's not waste time on Kelly's hatred. Let's hold on to the next issue.
It's not... Actually, honestly, the hatred is not coming necessarily from this boring ass
not from
issue.
You. Yeah. But we're gonna chill like these two are.
Chill from this.
We're gonna the
I wish people would. I wish people would.
I wish yeah would.
Anyway.
Okay, take me through this, Kelly. This is what issue? Right. This is 950. What is it?
No, you write 914 legacy numbering, and also can you please not write the legacy numbering on stuff because I could not figure out if this was issue 20 or not.
Oh, okay. I like Legacy. I don't want to reboot all the time.
I know, but that's not how I can find it. So anyway.
Meanwhile, back at the snow
it's
lodge.
Right here.
Yeah, but when you
right
you can't search it in the Marvel app like that.
That is true.
Oh.
But there's going to be like 7 different 20s.
Yeah, but if you write 2022 or 2023, it'll pop up. But anyway, Joe Kelly guest, and this is my thing. These all say guest writing. So
they do.
So yep. Joe Kelly's guest writing. Terry Dobson is guest penciler and colorist, and Rachel Dodson is guest inker. Quick rundown, since I know for time we'll need all we can on this issue, even though that line that we all know has made everybody mad is taken out of context and twisted for no good reason. Okay, so Peter and Felicia try to help keep White Rabbit and Kareem alive and take down the Rich Kid Syndicate, as I am calling them, which they do fairly easily. White Rabbit gets some licks in. Peter has a good heart-to-heart with Kareem, where we find out that Tony Stark wears adult diapers. The bad guys get taken down, and Kareem tells White Rabbit off how he's supposed to watch her for Tombstone, but he can't keep up with her shenanigans if they're going to keep getting them in harm's way. He has kids, you know. This leads to Peter basically telling Felicia what she wants to hear, and even Felicia isn't completely buying it, like, as I stated earlier, the sister thing. She called BS on that if you actually read the panel. And
let me get down to that panel you're talking about. Hold on.
Yeah.
This panel that lit up the internet
for no good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll wait on you. Let the hate come in.
Where's the
I'm gonna be the ire of everybody's hate, and that's fine because I'm gonna try and speak reason.
Okay, they got it. There's the panel.
Yes.
There you go.
So, as Peter is finally talking to Felicia about this, you know, she does call BS on him, saying, "Oh, it's like a sister." And hold on, everybody, before going into your rants, because I do actually have something I want to say here. As we noted in the last issue, in the editor's comment. So, yay! Thank you, Nick Lowe. We find out that Mary Jane is married to Paul. Okay?
Yeah.
So, this is a Peter who cannot be with MJ.
Okay.
This is a Peter who saw Mary Jane with her current husband, Paul, like a few hours ago. Regardless if he still loves her or is in love with her or not, they can't be together right now. And Peter knows that, and Peter isn't going to do or say anything that is going to hurt Mary Jane like that. He can't just yank her away from a life she clearly doesn't want to be taken from. So letting go is the only option he has here that wouldn't come off abusive, creepy, or downright insane. Mm-hmm. So this Peter, who says that, his love for her is the lowercase L or whatever, is really just Peter admitting to Felicia that he knows he needs to move on. This is what Felicia kisses him for, which I will now agree with White Rabbit on this issue that yes, Felicia can do better than that because she's pretty much agreeing to be the second fiddle.
Yeah.
But
the side cat.
The side piece again. But the thing is, like I said, he has no option but to move on right now. Mm-hmm. Okay? He can't just sit there and turn around to Felicia and go, "Oh my God, I still love MJ, but please have sex with me." That's not gonna fly, y'all. The thing is he's not gonna rip something from Mary Jane who, if it makes her happy. That's also not love. That's possession. And that's kind of the main issue I've had this entire time with this anger. So anyway, they kiss and then they go off to get White Rabbit and Kareem because they had run off, kind of tried to get away, but Peter won't let that happen. And that's basically it. Yeah. And I'm sure we'll have a lot more to actually discuss in this. And so I tried my best to.
Yeah, that was short and sweet. Chat, ask us questions if you'd like. I'll pop them up as they come in or as soon as I can. Kelly, let me hear your grade on that one.
My grade is a D.
Okay. Sarah?
D.
D. JR?
D as well.
I'll give it a D also. D minus, actually, because the art is not as good as the first. Kelly, pros.
Again, dots and art is always nice. But even this was rushed, and it's not my favorite, but that's really the only con that I have because everything else is disjointed and awkward and rushed and weird. Yeah. And then, of course, there's other things, but ultimately, this is boring. Peter's not a main character in this story. It really feels more like a White Rabbit story.
Yeah.
Like I said, some of the jokes don't fly. It just feels rushed, and it's just boring.
It feels like a fill-in. It feels it, and for a fill-in, you should not have one of the first sentences you read. Oh, Mary Jane's married. That was seen off panel. We don't have an explanation. Just a guest book. Oh, she's married. That's a big plot thing.
Yeah, see, and that's my thing that bothers me the most about this issue, and that's the weird thing on why, no, everybody's focusing on this one panel. And it's y'all aren't focusing on the page from the last issue saying she's married? Are y'all kidding me?
It makes me think it's an unreliable narrator.
Well, Niccolo is, but regardless, the point that I'm having, though, is everyone's freaking out, but it's did y'all not see the last issue? Are y'all not reading this in context?
Right.
Where is it that Peter can sit there and say and look like the good guy? Oh, I'm going to go wreck her marriage. Yeah. No, he's not. That's not who he is. And if you think that, you don't know Peter Parker and you don't know Spider-Man.
Yep. Truth.
Yes, this is a horrible story. I hate it. But the fact of the matter is he can't do anything but move on.
Yep. He's trying to mentally convince himself of falsehoods.
Exactly.
And I kind of got it. And Felicia was the reader in the fact that it's BS what Peter's saying. He knows it's BS, and she's just calling him on it. There's no way he's trying to justify what has happened to him. And by lying to himself, which is what people do when they're trying to move on, they lie to themselves. Oh, he wasn't a bad guy. She wasn't a bad girl. I'm lying to myself. I read it as he was lying to himself, and he knows he was lying.
He was, and that's the way I read it, and that's the way I assumed. And I think Felicia was just kissing him because the thing is that she's like, okay, I can at least start here because you need to move on.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is better if he had said no, I still love her. She wasn't going to do anything.
Right.
which then makes it even worse in the last issue where he's wearing black cat underwear. Anyway.
Yeah. Open it up. JR, pros, you got anything?
No.
Sarah, you got to have at least one pro. You're a lot more optimistic than JR.
Well, well, it's already been said. I really think, the panel that upset everybody on the internet and all everywhere. I think that Kelly's absolutely right. Like he's lying to himself, but he can't. It's in his character. He cannot ruin that marriage. He cannot. It would
be
not,
irresponsible, right?
With great power, great responsibility. Yeah, exactly. So I think, although I think a lot of people might say that, but she's more like a sister. He would never say anything like that. Well, he's lying to himself. And if you can't figure that out and you don't know that character enough to figure that out and know that that's a lie and know that he's just trying to do what he needs to do to make sure that MJ is happy regardless of how he feels, then like Kelly said, you don't know that character at all.
Yep. Amen.
Also too, Taylor Swift did write a song for her boyfriend in 2017 where she said she trusted him like a brother. Because she rhymed brother with lover, and it was awkward. So again, just throwing that out there. Not
so she's
the worst he could have said.
It's her, right?
Yeah, that too. But yeah, no, because I was making that joke the whole time too, because it was like Taylor Swift did it. Why are y'all so angry?
I don't think Joe Kelly's that hip. Do you think he's that hip?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think he listened to a 2017 Taylor Swift song.
Okay. That was a pro out of Sarah. Any other pros before we move on to the cons? And Kelly, what you mentioned several of them, but let's hear some more cons. If you got any more that you haven't said.
Honestly, I think the major con of this and the thing that made this a struggle to read and really turned me off was before I could even get a chance to read it, I was already somehow embroiled in a fight about just how bad this run has been, which no, it has been. But what I was getting was both sides. So both people that are okay with this story, which are very few, and the people not okay with this story all seem to stem the anger because Mary Jane is now married to somebody else. And this is the thing that bugs me because they're treating Mary Jane as a prize to be won. And that
character as a human.
That's taking her agency away completely. And that's entirely what we just talked about of why Peter's literally has to move on, because anything else is basically saying he doesn't care about her thoughts, her emotions, her emotional well-being. And that's not a relationship. And also, I'm tired of it. I am absolutely sick and tired of that because I almost feel like she's going to be fridged in this upcoming May story because of the fact that she is being treated by fans and the writers as nothing more than a prop. She's going to literally be fridged because of this. And I just wish that everybody understood. Maybe y'all should calm down.
Define fridge, they will not, like she's going in the Disney vault, if you will. She's not going to be used.
Do you not understand that phrase from Green Lantern?
No, that's DC.
So this started in 1992 in Green Lantern. Basically, his girlfriend got killed off by being I can't remember if it was chopped up or whatever, but he finds her in a fridge. And the way it was, the way it was though, was this wasn't it wasn't a super long-term character. She really ultimately was just the girlfriend. But it's been a trope in comic book writing for a long time. Kill off the girlfriend for more emotional pain. And normally they have they're not really a full-fledged character when that happens.
Gotcha.
And they've kind of derived Mary Jane into that, and I think that that's a huge disrespect to that character and what she has stood for so many years.
The thing is, even if they killed her, they'd bring her back. There's no doubt. No one dies in Marvel Comics.
We don't see, and that's another situation. That's another situation because this feels almost everything about ripping MJ away from Peter and everybody talking about, oh no, but they're in game and they just can't be together right now and blah, 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 blah. There's some edict, some rhetoric, mandate still saying that one more day, brand new day is still in play.
Yep.
And if it's been in play this long and editors can't get out of it,
yeah,
it's coming from somebody higher up.
Yep.
And in that situation, I until that person that is higher up than Nick Lowe leaves or finally says, yeah, you can change it, it's not changing. And that's not Nick Lowe's fault. It's not Zeb Wells' fault. It's not Joe Kelly's fault. This is something bigger than that.
Yeah. I guarantee you, if you would have become the new Amazing Spider-Man writer, which I'm not ruling that out at this point, you would be given a sheet of paper with the don'ts. You can't do X, Y, and Z to Peter Parker in your story. You can pitch these stories, but you can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. And one of them on the line is marry him and possibly have them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I guarantee that's on the
situation.
List. Yeah.
And that's the situation. And that's kind of why it's like, we know Spencer fought really hard to get them together. So he had to have convinced them that it needed to happen. But once he left, it reverted back. Like he got a special clause, essentially.
Yeah. Mary says Gail Simone coined the fridging, and spotlighting how comics and stories in general treat romantic interests as nothing more than objects to die for the hero stories.
But it's coined from
called Women in Refrigerators, or a website called
Women in Refrigerators.
Yeah. Oh, got it. Any other comments before we move to any other thoughts before we move to the comments?
Well, I just wanted to comment on the sister thing because it did seem to stir up a lot of. Well, when I read it, I just thought, God, that's dumb.
It is.
Because it's like because again, it's just like, best friend. I just feel like she's my best friend or my roommate or something like that. I mean, for example, I've seen like brother-sister relationships, and there's not. They're kind of slightly antagonistic.
Yeah, I want to kill my brother half the time.
Yeah,
so
there's a certain amount. I mean, my wife has, had a couple of brothers. And obviously, I have a daughter and a son, and it's, they love each other in a way. They adore each other, but they irritate the hell out of each other, and they're quick to get mad at each other. They're quick to judge each other. And it's like, I don't see, it's like, well, no, I mean, it's like, that's not a relationship somebody has with their sister at least I don't know a brother or sister where they're just so close that they're best friends.
Johnny and Marie Osborne are
that's
he's a little bit country.
Weird. She's
a little bit what?
Yeah. That was always weird anyway. But I just don't. It just was like a weird, dumb comment, and it just makes me wonder though. And again, I hate to always speculate. I mean, I know absolutely nothing about these writers' personal lives, or so it's like I don't. But it's just sometimes you just kind of wonder. It's like, do you get out much?
I like we said earlier, I really think that was more like I've got to say something. So because Peter's never had Peter's never had a sister. Peter's never had a sister. I'm standing my ground here. So he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to comments. We've got let's see. Jonathan says, I think the desire to keep Peter as the same single loser to make him more relatable. Tevia, a question for Kelly and the panel. I'm just wondering, how do you guys fix the main ASM book and get MJ and Peter together and resolve the Paul jerk? Go ahead,
stated
Kelly.
my stuff. Paul can be the doctor from the 20-year coma. This is all a dream.
Oh yeah, the dream is so overplayed, though. I
know.
That. Okay. But the Thanos snap of I said this last episode. The Thanos snap. The kids disappear. Paul disappears. Mary Jane has the Jean-Luc Picard. I remember getting married and I lived a whole lifetime in the time I was with Paul, and Peter, damn you for making me involved in this universe or whatever.
I always liked the idea that maybe he was really Mysterio because he had a thing for Mary Jane. I mean, wasn't there that almost kind of wasn't he like a supporting character in her miniseries when she had a 6-part miniseries, and then it was like they had in Nick Spencer's run they talked. Not like lovers or anything, but they just talk with a little bit more familiarity than you would think they would normally do. So I would have, if I were to fix it, it would be Paul would be Mysterio, and he does Mysterio things, So, but I don't think that's where they're going.
Joey Q is gone. It's probably Brevoort that has the mandate. I would not be surprised.
Honestly. Well, I think a lot of it now is just to spite people because they've realized. They've realized that it's not going away, that people aren't going to forget it. People aren't going to let it go. And now they're just going to spite us.
I don't know. So this is my thing is I think that this is more of an edict. I think this was an edict during the merger with Disney and Marvel. And so I think that there's higher ups in the publishing area that are probably just like, oh yeah, for synergy purposes, they can't get married. And it's being taken to a certain extreme. And it's odd. It's an awkward situation, but I kind of think that I don't think that the higher ups are saying, no. I think it's more they're just saying, oh yeah, don't have them get married. Let Peter play the field. He's young. Ha ha ha. And I think something's getting messed up in the crossfire of that. However,
Gary
it trickles
agrees
down.
with Kelly. Mary Jane is not a prize to be won. Tevia says, I hate to say it as much as it hurts me to admit, but maybe it's time for us MJ fans to move on.
Well, and that's not what and that's not what I'm saying. It's just more in a story aspect. Like in a story aspect, we are stuck. We can always root for them and we can always hope that things get fixed here. But we are kind of it's being written into a weird hole that I don't agree with and don't want, but there's nothing we can do as fans. And the only thing is we have to kind of think of like, we don't want, like, do we want Peter to wreck a marriage?
It sounds like some fans do, and that would be out of character.
That's the issue I've
totally
had.
Out of character.
Yeah.
And like that's the issue that I'm having, and it's so strange because it's almost as if like the way that it feels ultimately, and this is I think the way. I don't think Joe Kelly meant it this way, but I kind of do think that Nick Lowe is enjoying it. It's almost as if they want the fans to realize that they're crappy by wanting MJ to be with Peter. And so they're almost basically kind of saying, hey, so if we have her somewhere else and she's owned by somebody else, you want them to come and break that up? And it's so stupid because one, nobody owns anybody. Marriage is not a property situation. We don't live in that time anymore. It's not medieval times. But that's kind of the way that they want the fans to look stupid. Is the way that it comes off. And that's kind of why I'm like, you guys can't get angry at this, at the sister line, when there's 10,000 other things to actually be angry about, but you also have to be smart in how you say it. You can't just sit there and demand Zeb Wells' head on a platter without actually explaining why things are being written poorly. It's crossing a line and it's weird.
I'd rather MJ not be in the book than treating her like this.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
She needs. Oh yeah, I mean, if a character has fulfilled its purpose, they just kind of need to go on vacation or get a job, or
She went away in like 191 of Amazing and came back in like 243. Yeah. And boy, did she never left after that.
Yeah.
And people didn't want her to leave because she's a great character.
Well, here's the thing. Here's another thing too. Is that again we've talked about this before. Is well, one none of this is earned for example.
None of it.
Mary Jane's relationship with Paul is not earned. Peter's
None.
friendship with Norman Osborn is not earned.
The Felicia comeback is not earned. It just happened.
It's all like it's like, here, let's put all the toys in this box in this particular way, and we'll figure out how to do it later. And so it's like, so when the reveal happens, I just figure it will not be, it's almost like, again, like One More Day or whatever. I mean, if you want to break up a relationship, there are ways to do it. There are ways to do it that will tug at people's hearts, and make them understand. But the way they did it was stupid.
We're going to break them up in 4 issues after 20 years. Let's do it now.
And we're going to say, the hero is going to make a deal, promise with the devil, when it's like, you know how well that worked for Johnny Blaze, didn't you? But it's just like, I don't think this is going to have a decent revelation. It's not going to be a story where people are acting like adults in an adult relationship, and Mary Jane married this guy. I don't think we're going to get a real story there. I think we're just going to get some kind of plot device.
This one is aimed at Kelly. What happened to that future with Mayday Parker and Spider-Girl punching Mephisto in the face?
What are they talking about?
That last issue of Spencer that Spencer did. There's nothing happened.
Well, one, we're not 100% sure that was Spider-Girl. She had red hair. It looked like, I think that was just kind of a wink and a nod to a potential future that Peter and Mary Jane could have. I don't think that was ever meant to be a flash forward by any means of the imagination. Because I think Spencer kind of knew he was leaving. So that was more of just like, I'm going to give this to the fans because I know that they love this, and goodbye. And ultimately too, it was, how do you fix a situation that made no sense to begin with? There was never a situation where the devil needs to come in and take somebody's marriage away. That already was like that was stupid. And so that's all Spencer did, was ultimately try to give a reasoning to why Mephisto did what he did. And that's cute and all, but of course it still didn't fix it. It can't be fixed, is kind of what he ultimately said there. And now we're dealing with all this, which ultimately really is just crap after crap after crap of them kind of just scrambling to figure out what the next story is going to be, instead of realizing that they've written themselves into a hole that they can't climb out of without fixing this. And they're not going to do it. And they can't do it.
And they were so close to fixing it around Spencer's. They could have dealt with it, and we could have loved it. We could have hated it. But I think there was an actual attempt, and then the rug was pulled of trying to fix. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it felt like.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like too. All of a sudden it was like, 6 months later, here's the situation. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Another thing too, the thing that bothers me about the whole Mephisto thing is that there were no consequences because nobody remembers the deal. It's like, what kind of story is that where your hero makes a choice and then doesn't remember it, so he doesn't suffer any kind of consequences for it? Sure. And if they wanted to break Peter and Mary Jane up, the alleged death of the baby could have done it, because that'll kill a marriage. Even people who deeply love each other, losing a child will destroy even a strong marriage.
That would also, don't you think, alter the character of the fun-loving Mary Jane, though?
Yes, and it's something that never actually happened, which I always thought was weird, because that's kind of like, I've stated this, and people are like, oh, but they did talk about it in this 2 pages of this one issue where she says she's fine. And I'm like,
no.
Obviously you have, never experienced any of that or been around any of that to ever understand that actual pain. That doesn't, she's not fine. That's something that I think, they could have used that. They could have even had them have another kid. That could have been the Annie. And then that didn't happen for some, other unfortunate reason, and do that again. Which it'd be horrible. It'd be absolutely traumatic and terrible. But the thing is that would make more sense than the devil showing up to say, I will save your aunt for your marriage, which was the stupidest thing ever. Yeah. It made no sense.
Well, it also, the editor stepped in and had the ongoing writer attempt to write what he wanted.
Yeah.
Which didn't work. Just didn't work. A couple things. I like this comment from Eric. He goes, MJ being married off panel is ridiculous. I hope they kill Aunt May off in the recap pages just for fun. Eric, bravo.
Bravo. Does she die? Does she die at Midtown High doing a sex education class?
Well, you'll never know. You don't read the letters pages.
This is true. I don't.
Coming soon from Sony, Spider-Man Homewrecker.
That's a good one.
There we go.
That's good, Joey. I like that one.
Amazing.
That's right. MJ has moved on with somebody else, but Peter can't let it go. So the Zendaya MJ, Peter can't let it go or whatever. So yes, Spider-Man Homewrecker. That's great. That's really good.
That's really good. That was deep in the comments. Oh my gosh, since I was high up on the comments. Yeah, let's see.
Oh, I'm honestly shocked that there's not
Eric.
that much ire.
They should reunite MJ and Peter in a recap. Say the marriage is back. I'll Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, there we go. It's just back. We don't mention it. None of this ever happened. Again, Dallas, just wake up. It's all a bad dream.
Yeah, no doubt. Bobby Ewing. Fig says, if Aunt May ever found out that she's alive because Peter made a deal with the devil, she'd be pissed and she would never speak to Peter for the rest of her life.
True.
Oh, she'd be furious with him. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, again, it's like your mother, if your mother truly loves you, your mother will realize that your priority is with your spouse and your own family. I mean, yeah, but see, that's it. I mean, we could talk all day about how One More Day is stupid, and it's so stupid, but it's just, I almost wish somebody would and Marvel would just admit, it was told stupidly. We had an objective, but we told it stupidly. And it's like, well, okay, but it's like this denial, this refusal to even,
good point. Mephisto caused Norman Osborn to become the Green Goblin, JR.
Well, see here that, again. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's another reason, Tevi, that's another reason, because also Doc Ock made a deal with Mephisto too. Remember when he was,
he got the body back.
Yeah. And it's like, so wait a minute, you're saying three of the most, well, counting Mary Jane too, you're talking about four of the most significant characters in Spider-Man history. Mephisto's the greatest Spider-Man villain. He's altered the destinies of four of the greatest characters in Spider-Man's history. It's like, what the hell? And it's like, doesn't anybody realize what the hell you have done by allowing this? They don't give a shit.
Well, see, and this is my thing. To keep everything bigger and grander and blockbustery, they've ultimately completely killed what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man. And this isn't just, and see, that's kind of why I don't fully understand everybody, like, the things that have been said and the lines that have been crossed about Zeb Wells, because he's not the only one that's done this. He's literally got, he got the worst of the worst, because he basically got this after Beyond. And Beyond was horrible. And Spencer tried his best to clean this up, and he didn't stay around long enough to really do it.
Right. And
before that, there was, 15 years of just crap after crap after crap, because everything had to be big.
Recrap. Yeah.
Hey, maybe that's. But you know what I mean? There. Like, it's been, the whole thing has just been, because after that moment, everything had to be bigger, grander, better than that moment. But that moment fell apart very easily. It didn't make any sense. Yeah. And then trying to correct that and fix that, there's no writer in the world that I think would have been able to fix any of this. And now, like I said, now everything is in this hole, and we can't get out of it.
Well, yeah, you can't build a castle out of toothpicks,
No, and that's kind of the, like, there's nowhere to go. Like, I cannot blame Wells for writing shit in a shit show.
Oh yeah, Tevia says Miles Morales made a deal with Mephisto too. I don't know what it was. Everybody gets one.
Everyone makes a deal with the devil. That's just a Monday.
And it's like,
it's a Thursday.
Nobody in editorial notices this and goes, "This is wrong." But
M Franchise says Aunt May would have wanted to go to Ben anyway instead of losing his Peter's marriage. Let's see. There was one other one that was really funny in the comments section. Where was it? Oh, I started. Duh. Mary, our friend Mary says Zeb Wells has the flagship title of Marvel, and he and Nicola are treating it like a Marvel team-up side piece. Agreed, Mary. Agreed. It's really sad.
And not good Marvel team-up either. Bad Marvel team-up.
Yeah.
Not Byrne Claremont. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. I think bad Marvel team-up is kind of, they belong together. They're synonymous. You know, I mean, it's, you're saying, when you're saying Marvel team-up, you're implicitly saying bad Marvel team-up. Right, Brad?
Yeah.
Well, there's good and there's bad.
George is here. He says, when in shit show, write as shit show writers do.
Fair. I mean, but that's kind of what's happening here. It's just the issue of like Brad said, like they probably are given a sheet of paper of what they can and cannot write. And there's no way of fixing this without basically breaking one of those rules at this point. Yeah. But they can't do it. And so what do you do? Like, that's my thing. Like, especially too, none of them are ever given a proper time frame to really do research and, really think about it. And so like I said, it's kind of a perfect storm of bad right now. And there's not a lot that can be done without a major, major fix that I think is above Nick Lowe.
Well, I think the fix has to even come in the comics industry itself. It's really kind of circling the drain. All of this, it's almost like, I'm trying to figure what it is. It's like a Ponzi scheme or something. I mean, more titles, more Spider people, more X people, more X people. And it's like you keep running the car until the engine finally goes boom.
Well,
they're rolling it till the wheels fall off, man.
We're running the car until we all die of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, It's like they don't really care. It's just like they're on a treadmill. And to be honest, I don't even think Disney even.
They don't care. It's IP. They don't care.
They're so
brand
big
new figures out of it.
I mean, Marvel is it's not really even the comics division is not really even a pimple on their ass.
And that's kind of what I'm saying. There's somebody that's agreeing to uphold this that I think it was just because they agreed to uphold it when they had the merger. Mm-hmm. There's something somewhere. There's got to be. There's something somewhere that just because it's been that way since the merger, it's got to stay that way because that's the Disney way. Keep everything until it breaks so bad that, you have to fix it. And that's kind of where we're getting at. Like, I hate to say it, but it's almost like Spider-Man is being treated like the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland. Like, it's never going to fully be fixed. They don't care as long as people still ride it.
Mm-hmm.
Write it and write it. I see the similarities there. Before we wrap this show up, I want your thoughts from the panel about this on the Crawlspace front page. I just got previews from Marvel of the next Amazing Spider-Man issue. We've got it right here. If you click on the front page right.
I wish I had alcohol.
Let's see. If I open it there, I can pop it here. So it says, loading, this is it. The story arc you've been waiting for.
I think dreading is more of a...
I don't care anymore.
Here, real quick, let's see if Aunt May died. A year and a half ago, something mysterious happened to Peter Parker. During that mysterious happening in the ensuing 6 months, Peter burned bridges with his friends, loved ones, and fellow superheroes to the point where Norman Osborn was the only person who would give Peter the time of day. And if that weren't enough, Mary Jane Watson came out of the experience in a new relationship and as the mother to 2 children. Didn't say married there. Peter has since gotten his
married there.
Yeah. No, Peter has since gotten his life back on track, taking a job at the new Oscorp, writing himself with the people he cares about, and rekindling an old flame with Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat. But the shadow of what happened to Spider-Man has loomed over his life like an ever-present specter. You are about to learn what happened. Okay, it's him. It can't be. Are you sure, Paul? Mommy, I'm scared. The Scribble Man's back. Opposite directions. Let's go, kids. What about Mommy? Let's go. Remember how this works. I'll find you when you're safe. They've done this drill before.
Oh, when they're safe.
Yeah. I remember, says Mary Jane. All right, MJ. Yes, Peter, do you see it?
Slender Man?
I think so. He's back. Do you hear me, Peter? It's him. He came back. That's the end of the preview. Who is the guy on the cover? Who is the Slender Man? Looks like Kane with a beard. I'm just kidding. I don't know who it is. He's got a dust.
I don't care who it is, honestly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
Like,
JR, thoughts? You care?
Didn't somebody say it was going to be those that's one of those weird ass characters from that very early in One More Day, like the winter demons or gods or whatever? Didn't somebody speculate?
Oh yeah, that story I hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine who this could be and really don't care. Because it can't be anybody significant. It just can't be. Whoever it is won't have earned.
It's a new IP. It's a new IP, right?
Won't have earned the right to do this to Peter and Mary Jane. I mean,
Absolutely.
They're not Norman Osborn. They're not Doc Ock. They're not, they haven't, whoever it is hasn't earned the right to do this, to have such a major impact on the story. So it's like, who gives a crap who it is?
Well, right. And the only story that I'm waiting for is what the hell happened in that 6 months. And even at this point, my ability to care about that is waning.
I mean, I'll be honest, I've pretty much given up on all of this and just kind of am wait,
see if something better comes along.
Yeah, and that's my thing, is that like the longer I think about it, the more I'm like, I honestly don't see this getting better.
Bankman says that the married line from the recap may have been a mistake. He'll be curious if it's true. So. Yeah. Let's see. It's Homewrecker Man. Brad, real quick, thoughts on Picard season 3? Any chance you can get JR to look at it? First episode is free on YouTube. Picard season 3 is what season 1 should have been. Picard season 3 is amazing, Mary. I love season 3. JR's not that big a next gen fan, so I'm not sure I can convince him to watch it. But
why watch Kurtzman Trek? Why watch it?
No. This is the new. There's a new producer.
No, it doesn't matter. It's still Secret Hideout. Doesn't matter.
All right.
It's all in the same toilet bowl.
If you like next gen, you might like this. Ladies, have you watched Picard season 3? Okay.
I don't even know what that is, honestly.
Star Trek. It's Star Trek.
Okay. No, it's like, when as far as I'm concerned, when Leonard Nimoy died, Star Trek was over. It was done.
Okay, JR, do you have your list? Do you have your list available to write down a new name?
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't have it in front of me.
Screw Norman Osborn. He's a jerk. Go ahead. Add Tevye to the list.
Nah, I'm just going to tell Tevye to go back to watching Fiddler on the Roof.
If I was a rich man. Ba-da-da-da. I agree with JR, my Missouri brother. Be careful what you wish for.
All smart people do.
George says, who's ever coming back looks like they have Nightmare's hair. New relationship equals not married. Let's see.
So this is a theory I have, which is just off of the little bit we have. Obviously, we know from the side books that it does seem like Mary Jane has been away a lot longer than 6 months. Mm-hmm. So I'm slightly wondering if this is really Mary Jane at all. Like if this is 616 Mary Jane.
I didn't even think about that not being Mary Jane. Maybe that's good.
Maybe it's a clone.
Like
I said, I'm not saying it's a clone. What I'm saying is a multiverse pocket somewhere where she has these powers.
That's good. I like that.
And maybe there's some reasoning somewhere. There's some deal, some agreement that the other Mary Jane stayed in their universe for some reason to keep the kids safe. Like, I don't know. And this is probably crap, and they're definitely not going to use it, even though it probably is a better idea than what they have. But I don't know. Like, that's my thing. Like I said, I don't think it's a clone. I just think that it's not our Mary Jane.
Well, yes, I agree. Let's see. We are going to wrap this up, but I want to tease what is coming up next for our Patreon members. Kelly and Sarah and I, and JR knows better, did not tackle some of these books. We're going to tackle, looks like All Out Avengers, the latest issue of Miles Morales, a couple issues of Venom. Red Goblin wasn't bad, JR. You should check that out. Did you read that one?
I flipped through it. Yeah,
it's got Normie. It's got a lot of Norman in it.
Yeah,
so you'll hear our thoughts.
I tell you, I was really surprised. I actually liked the latest Edge of Spider-Verse title or something like that. The latest Dan Slott. Yeah. It's like, who, every once in a while he just surprises the hell out of me. I actually kind of like that story.
We've got latest issue Carnage. Tyler will tackle this. This is Spider-Man versus vampires and Spider-Man Unforgiven, I think. Is this the real Mary Jane or not the real Mary Jane? She's teaming up with Black Cat and Limbo. JR, you've been craving that Hallows Eve issue 1, haven't you?
Well, I was craving the variant cover, but I haven't been able to get out and look for it. It's been a long bad week, but the variant cover #1 is an Alex Ross Green Goblin. So
that's right.
Yeah.
That is a good looking cover. Yeah. We got one of my favorite books. I'll tell you why. With Joe Fixit, #2, Spider-Man and Hulk in Vegas. JR was just talking about the Spider-Verse, the Stan Slott, Mark Bagley book. Kelly's going to review those. We continue to look at The Lost Hunt. JMD Mateus writing that. One of Tyler's favorite books is coming to an end, Savage Avengers. Why do we review that? It's got Flash Thompson Anti-Venom in it, and it's also got, we've got a Deathlock Miles Morales clone, and we've got Cloak and Dagger in the book. The end of a really weird miniseries called Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Mike's going to tackle that. And Sarah DM'd me and says, Brett, I gotta review Spider-Gwen. Please. It's so weird. I gotta have it. So she's got it. She's going to tackle that book. So if you want to check those out, we're going to do a live stream just like we're doing here. All 43 people watching us right now. If you would like to sign up, help support the Crawlspace, patreon.com/Crawlspace is where we're going to be in just a few minutes. And yes, JR Fett says, oh, no, wait a minute. That's you, JR. Eric. Eric, did JR say the Spider-Verse is worth checking out? And then JR went into the chat and actually replied, yes, he liked it.
Yeah, if I finally now I'm trying to pay attention to the chat because people ask questions and
they do. They come in fast.
Yeah, they come in fast. I mean, you're not being deliberately ignored. It's just,
there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And also thanks to the new membership people that signed up on YouTube. I started with one and now we've got several. So you got these little icons next to you. You get little banners, etc. So thanks for signing up for that, gang. All right, we are going to Patreon next. We will see you in just a few minutes.